We all face challenges in life, right? Moments that really test our limits. But what if there was a way to see those moments not just as roadblocks, but as opportunities? In this explainer, we're going to dive into a really profound way of looking at hardship, a framework that helps us find the hidden blessings that are often tucked away inside adversity itself.
It's the question, isn't it? Why do we have to go through tough times? Why is there suffering? It's something every single person wonders about, and it's the exact question that's at the very heart of what we're talking about today. So the Quranic perspective gives us this incredibly powerful way to reframe that question. Instead of just asking, why is this happening to me? It offers us a lens to ask, what is this for? And that right there is a total shift in how we can approach the trials of life. And this verse right here, it just perfectly captures the whole idea. It's basically saying that our human point of view is limited. What looks and feels like a huge setback to us might actually be, from a divine perspective, the very thing we need. It introduces this concept of a hidden wisdom, a bigger plan, that's operating just beyond what we can see. This perspective is really built on a few core ideas. It suggests that hardship isn't just random, it's purposeful. It could be a test of our faith and character, or maybe a catalyst for our own spiritual growth. Sometimes it might even be a kind of wake-up call, meant to shake us out of autopilot and bring us back to what's really important.
Now, there's a really important concept here called sabr. It often gets translated as patience, but it's so much more than just, waiting for something to be over. Think of it as an active, hope-filled endurance. It's about persevering through the difficulty while still holding on to your faith that things will get better. It's not about just passively giving up and accepting a bad situation.
But hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. The Quran is filled with powerful case studies, the lives of the prophets, that show this exact principle in action, time and time again, throughout history. And there's probably no better example than the incredible story of Prophet Joseph. His life is a total masterclass in seeing a divine plan unfold through what looks like one absolute disaster after another. I mean, just think about what he went through. It wasn't just one bad day. It was this cascade of catastrophes. First, he's betrayed by his own family, his brothers. Then he's sold into slavery. And after all that, he's falsely accused and thrown into prison for years for a crime he absolutely did not commit. It just seemed to get worse and worse. But this is where everything flips on its head. Those massive apparent setbacks, slavery and prison, were actually hidden stepping stones. Being sold into slavery is what got him to Egypt, the center of power. Being in prison is what eventually connected him to the king's inner circle. Every single trial was a necessary move on the chessboard of his destiny. In the end, you see that the adversity wasn't some interruption to his life's plan, it was the plan. It was the exact curriculum, the precise training he needed to develop the character and skills to one day become a leader and save entire nations from starvation. It's just incredible. Okay, let's look at another amazing example, Prophet Moses. His story really shines a light on a different part of this theme, how divine help so often shows up at the exact moment of complete and total human helplessness. Just try to picture this for a second. You've got the most powerful army on earth charging at you from behind, and a giant, impassable sea right in front of you. There is literally no way out. That moment of what should have been certain destruction became the very stage for the most definite, miraculous salvation. The biggest threat was transformed into the greatest miracle. And we see this pattern again with Prophet Abraham. He stood up for what he believed in against his entire society, and for that, he was sentenced to the ultimate punishment, being burned alive. But then, the divine command comes, and just like that, the laws of nature are suspended. The very thing meant to destroy him, the fire itself, is told to become a source of coolness and safety. It just goes to show you that when divine protection is there, the very tools of harm can become the means of a miracle. So when you pull back and look at all these stories together, this amazing master pattern starts to emerge. You see, Joseph's imprisonment leads to leadership. Moses' persecution leads to deliverance. Abraham's trial by fire leads to safety. Even Prophet Muhammad, after a period of intense grief and loss, was granted the miraculous night journey which renewed his purpose. It shows this isn't a one-off thing. It's a consistent divine principle at work. Okay, so seeing this pattern in these epic stories is one thing, but how do we actually apply it in our own lives, right?
Well, these same principles offer a really practical toolkit for building our own resilience. So here are 5 things you can actually do. First, consciously try to shift your perspective, just like we've been talking about. See the trial as purposeful. Second, embrace that active, hope-filled patience we called sabr. Third, actively look for the lesson. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What virtue is this helping me grow? Fourth, and this is so important, maintain balance. It's okay to feel pain and to grieve. That's human. You can do that while also trusting in a higher wisdom. And finally, use these tough moments to increase your devotion. Turn to prayer and reflection, just like the prophets did in their darkest hours.
All right, so let's bring this all home. What's the ultimate takeaway from this entire framework? What's the big idea we should really hold on to?
Let's be super clear about something. This is not about romanticizing suffering. Absolutely not. Pain is real. What this framework does is give us a way to extract meaning from it. It's a tool to maintain hope when things feel hopeless, and to truly believe that blessings can be hidden inside the very challenges we would normally try to run away from. It helps you build a kind of spiritual resilience that goes way beyond your immediate circumstances.
And so that really leaves us with a final question to think about. A question that kind of turns this whole explainer into a personal tool for you. In the middle of whatever challenges you might be facing right now, where is that hidden blessing, that subtle wisdom that's just waiting for you to decode it?